Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Film is Okie Dokie, the show where we routinely sit down, watch a film, and talk about it. My name is CJ, and joining me, as always, is Tommy.
That's me. I also have a dog on my lap joining me this episode, which is uncommon. Yeah.
I think that it is Ed.
It is Edison. You are right. We're about to get some pretty big storms, and she is not a fan of thunder. So I decided to leave my office door open until either Jade or our housemate gets home, and then they can kind of comfort her. But she just wants to be on my lap right now.
Okay, I understand. Tommy, we kind of fucked up.
We?
Yes, we did, because you didn't remind me.
I have to remind you?
You sure do.
What?
Okay, so I didn't do a game last week.
Tisk.
We're gonna do the game quickly in the pre-show.
All right, I'm ready to speed run it.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be that quickly. Calm down. I had to pull everything up.
Fuck, was that the question? It was too fast. I didn't understand it.
Okay, so you've played darts, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna play 1,000,000,001.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to I'm gonna let you give me the names of 5 movies that came out in 2025. Okay.
Okay.
And pick any movie that came out in 2025.
Okay.
We're gonna look at what's the worldwide?
Okay.
Okay. You have 5 movies. You have to get to $1,000,000,001 without going over.
So it's getting as close as I can.
Yes, you don't want to overshoot it.
Okay, and say I bust. What happens then?
Wah, wah, wah.
Jeez, wow, all of your games are so punishing.
Yeah, I know.
It's all right, we'll eliminate the movies. Ooh, you got that one wrong. You lost. Like, what? I don't get partial credit.
You get partial credit. How about that? 5 movies that add up to $1 billion and $1 million.
$1 billion and $1 million. Okay.
And we're looking at the worldwide gross, which is domestic plus foreign.
Okay, so do you want me to name all 5 and then you'll add them together, or do I give you them one by one?
You give me them one by one, and then I will tell you how much that movie earned.
Okay. So I'm going to start with Sinners because I know that it did well, and I think that that's just a solid one to start off with. I think that's going to get me like at least 300 or 400 mil out the gate.
Okay. Sinners, 369 million, and because it is over 500,000, we're going to round up to 370.
Okay.
So
370.
We're going to give you 370, so no one can do that math in their head, but the handy dandy calculator says that minus 370, you have 631 million left to go.
Cool. I'm going to go 600 what?
631.
Okay. All right. Real quick question. So when you say this 2025 films, right?
Yep.
These are just movies that came out in 2025 in general?
I believe so. If you tell me a movie that didn't come out in 2025, you don't bust. How about that?
Okay.
That's not the game we're playing.
All right. I've got a bit of a strategy.
Okay.
How about let's go Superman.
Superman.
Yes, I that one's going to be a bit more. I know that's going to be probably over 500 mil, maybe 6.
Okay. Superman is more.
Uh-huh.
Superman was 618, so we're going to round up to 619.
Awesome. So I'm now at like 989 million. So I've got to get 12 mil. right? Yeah.
Hang on. I'm subtracting your very high number. Yes, you have 12 million left.
Perfect. Awesome. This is my strategy. Okay. I would now like to pick War of the Worlds 2025 starring Ice Cube.
Okay, so hang on. So that was 619.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's get you to $12 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're gonna find War of the Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's not on my list.
Ooh. So that means it's 0.
It's not in the top 200. Hang on, let me see if I can find a accurate figure. Is that your strategy? It's 0. It did not have a theatrical release.
Perfect. So 0, and I still need 12 million, and I only have 2 films left.
I don't like what you're doing. I don't like this.
What?
You have to pick. All right, new rule for starting from right now. You have to pick movies that had theatrical releases.
Okay. Does that mean I get to start over? Because this was my strategy kind of from the beginning. I was like, I'm going to get there with like 2 films, and then I'm just going to pick movies that didn't have theatrical releases.
Okay, so you're now going to stall until you get to the end, because then you'll have 12 million, and you're okay being at 12 million.
I had one more to pick, and then I was going to try and pick a movie that was as close to 12 mil as possible.
Okay. So go ahead, tell me what the other... I guess we'll go with it. Next time, I'm not going to let this slide, but what other movie were you going to pick?
My 4th film that I am choosing is It Ends.
It Ends, okay.
Yes, that's a movie about some kids who take a turn onto a highway that never ends.
But the movie's called It Ends.
It Ends, yes. It's a psychological horror.
Okay, it does not have a theatrical release. Okay. That's another 0.
Sweet. Wow, so I only have one more.
And I need
12. Okay, see, this is where it's tough. You
have a lot of movies you think you can...
So, okay, I'm going to start thinking aloud and just start naming films. 12 mil. One that comes to mind is Friendship, though I feel like that probably passed 12 mil. Eddington, I think, passed 12 mil, but I do know that it underperformed. Maybe something with like a limited release, like Train Dreams or Frankenstein or Wake Up Dead Man. I think that going to Netflix film might be good here. Or maybe I just go with a stinker like Wolfman or Okay. I think I am going to pick Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Okay. It made $480,000 at the box office.
That's so much lower than I was anticipating. Oh no.
So that gets you to what is that? It's gonna be in like 11 million something.
11 mil off. So like 990 mil.
11,520,000. So that's your high score.
Wow, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. You know, it's funny. You would have busted, but if you had said, there was one that you had said earlier. God, what was it? When you were running through, there was one that had made
Wolfman?
like 13. No, Wolfman made like 480.
Train Dreams, Wake Up Dead Man, Friendship.
Eddington made 13.
Oh, Eddington. Damn.
Friendship made 16.
Okay, so I'm glad that I didn't pick those. I'm glad I went with my gut.
Yes. The the Toy Story 2025 re-release made 11.5. The Princess Mononoke re-release made 10.5, and a Paw Patrol Christmas made 10.5.
Oh, that was my next guess.
So there you go, Paw Patrol Christmas.
Wow.
There you go. That's my game.
I like that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's better when there's 2 people, because then it's like really darts.
Yeah, I like that a lot. But hey, I'm pretty happy with my result. But you're banning that strategy from future attempts.
Yes.
Damn, that's messed up.
I think it's more fun when there's multiple movies instead of just 2. But
hey, I had 3. Well, technically I had 5.
I'm sticking with my guns.
Fine. Well, I'll chalk this up as a Tommy win, getting within like 10%, if not less, getting within like 1%.
Yeah.
Nice.
What have you been up to outside of playing my games?
Oh, not
reindeer games.
too much. Jade and I were just out of town. We went to Phoenix and saw the Cubs play the Yankees in spring training, which was pretty cool. The Cubs did. Cubs won the game that we went to.
Nice.
It was spring training, so of course it has the score of like a football game.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. We went to that. We went and saw Project Hail Mary. We just had a good time. How about you, CJ?
I had a very productive weekend. I have been catching up on some shows. I've been watching Invincible.
Nice. Us as well. Are you all caught up?
I watched yesterday's episode.
Sweet. Same here.
Yes. And I gotta say, the song that plays in that episode, the license song, I wasn't gonna say the name of the song, yes, but that is the perfect song that could play there.
I'll bleep it. No, I'm with you. As soon as it came on, I said to Jade, like, oh wait, this is beep. And yeah, perfect. Just the whole soundtrack for that episode was really great.
Yeah, like if you're not gonna do like slash like that is the song to play when you're.
Wow, now I have to bleep all of that.
No, you're good.
What? So hold on. We have to bleep the name of a song that plays, but we don't have to bleep the actual plot of the episode?
Oh, yeah, you do. That's funny. Yeah, I fucked that up.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's so funny. How are you liking this season? We're halfway through.
Yeah, I wish that the seasons were longer, but I understand why they're not.
Mm-hmm.
If it means that we get a season every year, I'll take my 8 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, or like even at most like year and a half. I'm liking the pace that it's released these past couple seasons, aside from the mid-season breaks that they did with seasons 2 and 3.
Yeah, I can't. Doing 4 episodes and then having a mid-season break sucks.
Yeah, wasn't too much of a fan of it, especially with like how important the pacing of this show is.
Yes, and so like if at the end of this episode they were like, "Cool, we'll see you in like 6 months," I would have been really mad.
And you know what's so messed up is it ends on a note that would serve so well as a cliffhanger for something like that.
And I hate cliffhangers, so that would have been really frustrating. I really enjoy what I've seen. The first 3 episodes I really, really liked. The most recent episode, I was like, I will like this episode more in a rewatch because I'm so interested in where the plot goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I feel like I've seen a lot of people kind of bashing this new episode. I really loved it. Just kind of on 2 fronts. One, it being that as someone who's read the comic, this is a storyline that Kirkman cut from the comic. So this is my first time experiencing it. So really cool getting to experience, more these characters that didn't really get to see otherwise and learn a lot about the lore of this world, which isn't present in the comic. So that was really great. But I also thought that it was a really good episode just for kind of, character emotional reasons. It felt like a big episode for Mark's emotional and mental state. So I appreciated it for that.
Yeah, and some really good voice actors. Clancy Brown, Bruce Campbell, and Mark Hamill were all in this episode, which is kind of crazy,
Yeah, the Bruce Campbell feature was awesome.
Especially because we got that announcement that he's sick. It's just like, oh, man.
And the role that they cast him in is the perfect role for him to play.
Yeah. Like, there's only one other role in the world that would be better, and he also played that role already.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, cool, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah, no, so I'm really enjoying that. I've been watching The Pit week to week.
Right. We just finished season 1, so we'll be starting season 2 in a few days.
What'd you think about season 1?
It was really great. Very addicting show. Very easy to watch. Very easy to get pulled into. Yeah, it's good TV. It's really well made.
Yeah. The Pit Fest episodes, man. Sometimes I just go back and rewatch those episodes because those episodes are so well done. Like that little mini arc in the show.
Yeah, really terrific.
They talked about when they wrote the show, they were like, we're going to put all these characters in a pressure cooker all day, and then we're going to drop a piano on it.
Mm.
And I think that really describes how season 1 feels by the end.
Yeah, because I don't think it's a spoiler to say that the format for the seasons is each episode is 1 hour of a long shift at the ER. Even before the wildness of the final 5 episodes, it's already a day from hell for them. And then, like you said, the piano gets dropped on top of them.
Yeah. So, they are able to do a really good job of maintaining that pressure in this second season.
Cool. That makes me really excited to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So I haven't been as excited about Scrubs. I know that Scrubs came back. The first couple episodes. Have
you been keeping up with that?
I didn't finish the last episode. I really was interested in the premise. So I've kind of been like, but I've been busy. It feels impossible that tomorrow is Friday for us.
Oh my God, right?
It has been I've been so booked. So, but yeah, no, it's been good. So
good.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't have too much else to chit chat about here, should we maybe start transitioning into the movie we're watching today that I don't think we've mentioned yet?
Yeah, so we're watching The Social Network today.
Yeah.
I saw this movie before I became a Aaron Sorkin fan. I'm not going to say this movie made me an Aaron Sorkin fan. I think The West Wing is what did that, but I watched The West Wing after I watched The Social Network. I remember hearing that they were going to make a Facebook movie in 2008 or 2009 and being like, how the fuck are you going to make a movie about Facebook? And for those of you that don't know, by the way, before we get too far away from it, some of the things that Aaron Sorkin has written include he wrote A Few Good Men, he wrote The American President, he wrote The West Wing, he wrote Charlie Wilson's War, The Social Network, he wrote Moneyball, he wrote the Steve Jobs that isn't the one with Ashton Kutcher.
Michael Fassbender and Seth Rogen. Yes.
Jeff Daniels, yeah. He also wrote Trial of the Chicago 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, and I think it comes out this year, they're putting out a companion piece to The Social Network this year.
Yeah, I actually added that to our post-show notes for us to kind of chat about.
Yeah, so it is... they're going to be doing a follow-up piece to this movie, which is not going to have anybody from this first movie in it, because it's not really a sequel.
Right.
But it is about the Facebook leak and the whistleblower. What's her name? Frances Haugen? Is that her name?
I actually do not know off the top of my head.
But it has it's actually got a good cast. I made a note of it here. I don't know if how you and I both felt about Honora. I liked Honora.
Yeah, I did.
But I loved Mikey Madison.
Mm-hmm.
So Mikey Madison in it. Jeremy Strong is in it. I know you were a big Succession fan.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy Allen White, we both love the Bear. And then what is her name? Woonmi?
Yes, Wunmi Mosaku.
Yes, she is in it as well. So
Cool.
I am like into this. Like the casting for it is perfect for me. I just love those actors.
Yeah, and something I'm curious about that. I guess we're kind of talking a lot about it here, but I'm curious to see just how much it pairs with The Social Network, because, you know, Aaron Sorkin will be directing The Social Reckoning, which is what it's titled, whereas David Fincher, despite Aaron Sorkin writing Social Network, David Fincher directed Social Network. Fincher, of course, who's directed like Seven and Zodiac and a lot of films that often have a much more, I don't know if darker is the right word, but you know what I'm kind of getting at?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. And I'll say this too. Like, fucking, it's not going to sound the same either because it was scored by Trent Reznor.
Yeah. Is he not doing the new one?
No, he's not.
Gotcha.
It's Alexandre Desplat.
Gotcha. Yeah, this one is, it's pretty much Nine Inch Nails because it's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Yeah.
It's just they're not doing it under the name.
That's what it sounds like, too.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess for The Social Network, did you first see this at theaters?
Yeah, I did. I actually wrote about this. I was not the editor at the time, but I went and saw this as a film review for my newspaper, of which I was the club president at the time. There was no editor. I became the editor in my senior year. But I went and saw this in 2010. If I remember correctly, it came out in my junior year. It came out, October of 2010. And I went and saw it, and I wrote a review about it. And I remember I don't have the review anymore, and it doesn't exist online. I don't have any of the old papers in front of me, but I remember really liking Jesse Eisenberg. I remember really liking the way that it was written. I remember liking the sound. I remember liking like Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross. And then I remember being like, yeah, this movie does a really good job of making you think that Social Network is actually a really bad idea. And that was in 2010.
Yeah, and I'm curious to watch this through the lens of 2026 when we have society that has just been absolutely broken over the knee of social media.
Oh yeah. Really good cast though, this movie. Well, as we can talk about that.
Your favorite wannabe cannibal is in this.
Wannabe cannibal?
Yeah.
Who?
Armie Hammer.
Stop.
What?
And I knew you were going to say that I liked Armie Hammer.
Yeah, he's your guy.
No, he's not my guy. He's your guy. Brenda Song is in this.
Really turning this around. Isn't she in this for like 2 seconds?
Yes. Andrew Garfield, though. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Is it unfair to call him Spider-Man?
Why would it be unfair?
No, I'm saying if we're like, oh, Tobey Maguire's in it, and it's like, oh yeah, Spider-Man. We don't call George Clooney Batman.
Right. He was only Batman I guess he was actually in 2 Batman films.
Like we don't call
Flash.
Michael Keaton Batman.
You know, I think that there are probably people who say that to Michael Keaton. I think we have to keep in mind that like Andrew Garfield, one, was Spider-Man in multiple films and also was Spider-Man for our generation at an impactful age. We were like, late teens when those were coming out. And typically like people will have like, oh, that's my Spider-Man. Oh, that's my Batman. So, especially because it's one of the first roles that Andrew Garfield really had this like mass popularity, and I don't think it's unfair to refer to him as that. He has done a lot of other very notable things.
I have one more.
Okay.
do you call Christian Bale Batman?
I usually just call him Chris whenever he and I hang out.
Oh, shut up. You know what I meant. Like, I don't know. He is my Batman, but I don't think of Christian Bale and be like, oh, that's like Christian Bale. Oh, he was Batman.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Oh, he was Batman.
it's one of the roles I think of for him. I don't know.
Batman.
I'm not sure I really will. Unless I think I think what I usually do when I refer to someone as like a role like that, it'll be because like that's one of the only things I know them from, or I'm like still becoming familiarized with them. So I'll be like, oh, okay, they were Spider-Man, right.
All right. Before this, I had only seen Jesse Eisenberg in Zombieland.
You know, let me look. That might be the same for me.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh wow, Zombieland and Spider-Man. Here we go.
I guess I had seen. Oh wait, no, 30 Minutes or Less was after this. Yeah, I guess just Zombieland was what I knew him from. Yeah.
What's your relationship with this movie?
I saw it in theaters, and that's the only time I ever saw it. Actually, I've not seen it since. Just kind of has lived in my head. I absolutely loved the score. I listened to the score so much when studying in high school. It was very much good working music. But there are so many famous scenes in this that I have seen over the years, such as like the just the opening scene. I feel like I've seen so many videos on YouTube breaking down the writing of it and whatnot. I've seen so many videos talking about how they physically edited Armie Hammer to play the twins, and I've seen, of course, the fuck you flip-flops scene a billion times. So it's one that I'm sure as we watch it, I'm going to remember pretty much everything as we watch it, even though I've only seen it the one time. Though I don't know. I'm curious how I'll like it watching it in full for the first time in 16 years.
I had a thought and then I lost it. So.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right. Well, anything else?
Should we throw out some predictions for how we're going to like this?
I think I am going to like it.
How about this? I predict for you, you predict for me, since we've both seen this.
Okay, do we have to take our headsets off?
Okay. How funny would it be if we just made the predictions and talked over each other?
Okay, go ahead.
All right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. I think CJ's probably going to like it, especially because Aaron Sorkin is so important to CJ, and
Tommy
West Wing is huge,
do what
so
I tell him to
we'll
do,
see.
And if he doesn't, fuck him.
Perfect. No notes.
No notes.
Totally wasn't paying attention to what you said and have qualms with it.
It's really funny. I didn't hear what you said.
Wow, that's messed up.
I was focusing so hard on trying to talk while you were talking. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening to the pre-show of the film Okie Dokie. If you would like to listen to the companion audio podcast where we talk along with the movie, you can go ahead and pause the podcast here in a second. Otherwise, you can keep on listening after a brief intermission. If you'd like to stop and listen to that, you can pause the podcast right now.
Drop the, just Facebook.
That line, it's so famous, of course, right?
Yeah.
It feels almost like parody now, seeing him say it.
Also, I've never been so firmly on one person's side after rewatching a movie. It's like so unambiguous.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by it as well.
I think when I first watched it as a kid, I was like, Edward Saverin is a fuddy-duddy. He's a wet blanket. I'm like, oh.
Having a fully developed frontal lobe really makes it clear Mark Zuckerberg sucks.
Yeah.
That's where my family lives.
And asked the response.
Dinner, I had to feed my chicken. So I took little pieces of chicken and I gave it to the chicken. Someone must have seen me because the next thing I knew, I was being accused of forced cannibalism.
Oh.
Army Hammer!
You couldn't do that. I dealt with the various animal...
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the film is Okie Dokie. I'm still CJ, he's still Tommy. Welcome.
What if, I think next time, we got to change the name mid-episode recording.
Change the name of the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back, everyone. You knew us as the film is Okie Dokie, but now we are, let's say it at the same time. Ready, CJ?
Yep.
The movie.
Film, the movies.
So it wasn't.
Question mark.
Noki. Yes.
Noki.
We'll let everyone decipher that.
Yeah.
CJ, how you been?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
I'm been working hard, I'll tell you that. I'm feeling a little eepy today.
Yeah?
Just a
Want me
little eepy.
To play a air horn, like a big old blowhorn through my microphone to wake you up? Oh, that's right. I said I was going to get you one of those for your car.
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly like that.
God, you would be so cool rolling around town in style, just
It's better, definitely better than La Cucaracha.
I mean, you would totally own that one too.
I don't know if I should have that kind of power.
So when someone has like a La Cucaracha horn, and say someone is like almost cutting them off in traffic, and they like hit the horn a couple times in rapid succession, does it play in full every time and just overlap, or does it restart every time they hit the horn?
I think it restarts.
Oh,
so it's
bummer.
like da 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 da.
That makes sense. Also not sure that was La Cucaracha that you were just singing.
Yeah. Da 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 da.
There you go.
That's what I just did.
No, you did da 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 da, which is like, I wish I was in the land of Dixie or whatever.
Oh.
Take me away, take me away, take me away, back home. Oh, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
Oh,
right.
We should have a music identifying quiz on this show sometime.
We should.
But specifically, movie music. So that's okay. I got to prepare that since I got the soundboard. I'll prepare a bunch of songs from movies that you have to guess.
Okay.
But speaking of games, I do have a different game ready for you, CJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So we know that Project Hail Mary is out. It's a word of mouth hit, getting a lot of people to go to the theater. So around a week or two ago, Jade found this post online where this dude named Dan Mecca, I don't know, I'm going to guess he's a critic of some sort to some degree. He put together a list of 20 films in honor of Project Hail Mary coming out. And the films are, quote, 20 great intergalactic film odysseys that explore humankind's endless quest to find our place in the universe. So I have these 20 films here. Jade had me try and guess a lot of them. I did okay, but there were a handful, I would say like half of these I had not heard of.
Okay.
So I'm going to, there's 20 here. I'm going to read out a handful that I hadn't heard of. If you've heard of these and you're like, oh, I would have guessed that, I apologize. But I think this would just go a lot smoother if we wipe out a lot of these ones that are a bit more out there.
So the game isn't for me to guess.
No, it will be, but I'm going to give you a bunch of ones that you likely wouldn't be guessing anyway.
Okay.
And then you'll be guessing the remainder.
Okay.
So, a handful of movies on this list. High Life, Aniara, Europa Report, 2 different versions of a film called Solaris, Mission to Mars, Outland, Black Hole, Silent Running, and Forbidden Planet. So that's about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's half the list. There's 10 remaining. So CJ, I want you to guess the 10 films from this list that are intergalactic film odysseys that explore humankind's endless quest to find our place in the universe.
Okay. Ad Astra.
Yes, you got it. Ad Astra.
That is Brad Pitt, right?
Yes.
The Martian.
Yes, The Martian. Ding, ding.
Interstellar.
Uh-huh.
Gravity.
Yes.
Okay, are those the 4 easiest ones?
I would say there are 2 other really easy ones.
2001?
Yes, that's one of the other 2 really easy ones.
How
How about this? I'm going to give you a hint for the other really easy one, and this is
Okay.
pretty much a gimme. It directly inspired this list being made.
Star Wars.
No.
Oh, Project Hail Mary.
Yes. Okay. Got all the gimmies. So there's the 10 that we already eliminated, and then the 6 that you just got. So there are 4 other ones. 3 of these you 100% have heard of. 1 I'm a bit iffy on with whether or not you've heard of it.
John Carter.
Yes.
Okay.
That was
stupid.
Yes, that was the one that really got me, because I'm like, first I was like really trying to dissect and digest what is encompassed on this list, because it's intergalactic film odysseys. But like The Martian, we just go to Mars. Gravity, I think, is just an orbit above Earth. So really it just has to do with space. But John Carter, I don't even think he's an astronaut, right?
No, he's just a dude. He's from like the 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got 2 more. 3 more. Sorry, 3 more.
3 more. Alien?
No. Good guess, though.
Okay, so Alien's on the list. That feels like that. Okay.
I'm with you.
Event Horizon?
No. Another guess that I had as well, though.
Is there any like sci-fi type stuff on here? Like is there a Star Trek movie on here?
No. So the thing that we
This is like hard sci-fi.
This is like not just hard sci-fi, but specifically people leaving Earth. Like, these are stories of people, at least of the ones that we're covering. Like, these are people leaving Earth to go do things.
Are they all fiction? Well, they're all movies.
They're all movies.
Yes.
There's one here. I've not seen it, but from my understanding, nonfiction.
Is it? What's the name of that movie? Didn't they make a movie about Neil Armstrong as like First Man?
Yes, starring the Ryan Gosling. He is on this list twice.
Okay, interesting.
All right, so you've got 2 left. The one that I'm not sure if you've heard of. I'll give you a hint, and if you're not familiar, I'll just tell you. This one, I want to say Cillian Murphy is in it. I believe Michelle Yeoh is in it. And it takes a turn into horror at some point.
Is this the one? No, I'm thinking of Event Horizon. Gosh. It takes a turn into horror.
Yeah, from my understanding, it takes a turn into horror at some point.
I'm gonna yield on that one. I don't have.
Okay.
There's nothing coming to mind at the moment.
Okay, want me to just tell you that one?
Yes.
All right, so that one was called Sunshine.
I've never heard of that one.
All right, directed by Danny Boyle, came out in 2008. Cillian Murphy, Chris Evans, Michelle Yeoh. That was one that I was on the fence whether or not you had heard of it. But you have one more. You've definitely heard of it. This was the one alongside John Carter I did not think of. And
how many times have we talked about the marketing for John Carter? That's the only reason. That's the only reason I was thinking about it.
It comes up more than you'd anticipate on this podcast. All right.
More than you
Here's your hint. This is the oldest movie on this list.
Oh. Is it like some silent film?
You're not far off.
I feel like there's some turn of the century film that's on the tip that like I read about in film class, but I've never seen. So I'm gonna go ahead and just yield.
You're pretty spot on. Might be a forehead slap moment, but A Trip to the Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
I haven't either. Apparently it's like 10 minutes, so maybe we need to sit down and watch it someday.
We talked about doing the Christmas thing or 25 Days of Christmas.
12 days. We don't want to bite off more than we could chew.
Hey, listen, we're gonna start recording those in like August.
Sooner, hopefully.
All those in the can. Yeah, no. So no, that's interesting. I've read about it more than I actively have.
Yeah, it's the one where the dude gets in the rocket and it flies up and it hits the moon in the eye.
Yeah.
Well, pretty good. I think you and I ended up with around the same score, both for getting A Trip to the Moon. But bit of a weird list, so had to have you try and guess some of that.
Very weird list. Yeah, someone was talking about. Someone posted an image, and it said the caption was "A coughing baby and 3 gods," and it was Gravity, Interstellar, The Martian, and Project Hail Mary. And the top comment was, "Which one is the coughing baby?" And I'm like,
"Yeah,
what do you mean?"
That's what I was gonna ask. Which one's the cough? So wait, it was Gravity.
Yeah,
Gravity's the coughing baby.
Yeah, apparently that movie is really not accurate at all. The physics are really wrong in that movie compared to the other 3, which get a lot of the science and the physics right.
I feel like that's a pretty sizable, unless you're looking at this in specific like science movie debunking science forums. I feel like that's a lot of context to assume from A Coughing Baby versus 3 gods. Like, how is someone supposed to see that and think, oh, of course, Gravity, because of its scientific inaccuracies? That's the coughing baby naturally.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you have on your list that you want to run through?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm ready to chat a little bit about people who are social on the internet.
Yeah. So we watched The Social Network.
Wait, we did?
We did. Yeah.
Oh.
A week ago.
I watched a different movie.
No.
Oh, I watched Catfish.
You were catfished.
Wait, I was catfished by the film. Well, Social Network. CJ, you brought this to the table. What do you think of Social Network? Hit me with some thoughts.
Okay. Really, I feel like it's a really tight 2 hours. I'll say that I think watching this in high school and then not really having watched it really since then, I watched this movie in 2010. So having watched it in 2010, maybe watching it one other time, but not really having seriously watched it in 16 years, which feels weird. It feels like too much time. I was probably 16 when I saw it. I was 16 when I saw it. So going from being like 16 and then you're watching it for the first time in like 16 years, I felt like Mark Zuckerberg was cool, or I thought at the time maybe he like what he was doing was cool, like being a dick, like getting back at everybody. And you said this during the movie. You're like, yeah, having an underdeveloped like prefrontal cortex, just like, yeah, dude, like I'm cringing at past me thinking that it's cool to behave like Mark Zuckerberg in this movie. But like he really just like he's just constantly like flipping off everybody, and he's like milquetoast and like can't even get somebody to like walk away from a table. You know, he has no social skills, yet he is the architect of the large social platform.
Yeah.
Right?
It's almost entirely founded on his spite for other people.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not to get too into the plot, but the path to Facebook began when he gets dumped in the first scene.
Yes. He literally is like, I'm not good at socializing, so I'm gonna get rid of socialization.
Just tear it all down. Tear down the system because I'm not great at it.
Yeah, exactly. And there's something about it too where at the time it felt too new. You know? At the time it felt too new. Now so much time has gone by and so much about Facebook has changed that I'm like, now it feels like a period piece somehow. And I think the point the movie was really trying to make was like, before I get into that, I guess, man, maybe it's just the way that we have really allowed autism to be discussed more openly. He is on the spectrum. Mark Zuckerberg plays a guy on the spectrum really well.
You mean Jesse Eisenberg?
Jesse Eisenberg. Who would I call him?
Mark Zuckerberg?
Mark Zuckerberg also plays a guy on the spectrum really well. But Jesse Eisenberg for sure does. Really interesting. Like, not something I even considered 16 years ago when I saw this for the first time. So, and I think that's part of it is it's like to a teenager, everything, to a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? To a teenager, just being openly rebellious and being an asshole sounds like such a cool, fun idea.
Especially when finding success in doing that.
Yeah. The scene I remember being like, oh yeah, that's awesome when I was like a kid, is the scene where he goes to the meeting in his fuck you flip-flops and his sweatpants and acts like he woke up late for the meeting, and then he's just like, yeah, well, Sean Parker says, and I was like, yeah, fucking tell him off. And part of that is Sean Parker, or Justin Timberlake was really cool in 2010. And then I'm like, yeah, no, this is really dumb. Like, really dumb.
It's very much like, I feel like that's a really great microcosm of people, especially in our current year, just flying in the face of societal expectations and breaking rules and just generally being discourteous, but ultimately people in power are hardly punished, so the line keeps going up, you know? That felt like a lot like a scene that, seeing it in 2010, feels much more something rooted in fantasy than like nowadays where it's like, oh, of course, these guys are all in their own little bubble and throwing business conventions and manners out. Like, that works in this world because everyone just wants to be the cool dude, you know? They're going to invest in him because they thought he was cool. And it's like, is that the entire metric for this? Is it just vibes?
Yeah. You know, at the time, there were people that wrote negative reviews about this movie because they said that it was the source material that it was based on took liberties with like the person of Mark Zuckerberg and these people that are like the person of Sean Parker, and that it's not to be, that there's a part of this, it's like, yeah, well, they're not exactly the people in the movie. And first of all, it's a movie.
Yeah.
But second of all, we have since seen who some of these people are, including Mark Zuckerberg. We have a lot more exposure to him now. than we did 16 years ago. He has talked a lot more. He has spoken into microphones and cameras. And he feels like a robot.
Yeah.
Like, so I come back and I watch this and I'm like, no, I think they got him right.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I don't think we got this wrong. At the time, I remember reading them and I'm like, well, okay, maybe people who know Mark Zuckerberg better know that this isn't the case. One thing that's written about is about that this woman, this girlfriend, is not a real character.
Right.
That it's an amalgamation.
The
but
woman
there
who
is,
dumps him at the beginning you're referring to?
Yeah. But there is a girlfriend who broke up with him before he founded the Facebook. That is a real person. And she does basically claim that she was the guy who she was the person that dumped Mark Zuckerberg. So it's not like that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like, so it's weird. It's like, hey, this person wasn't a real person. Instead of being, this person's name was changed. Like,
yeah.
To compare this to a different example, Peter Brand in Moneyball is not a real person. He's 10 people that they turned into one person for the sake of the movie. Because it doesn't make the story as interesting to know that there's a bunch of people that Billy Bean hired, not just one idiot like savant, right? So he's based heavily on Paul de Podesta, but he's actually an amalgamation of like 3 or 4 people, right? That's not this. There is a woman who broke up with him, and then he created, and then everything else happened, right? Like, that person is a real person. So, anyway.
So, did you like the movie?
Yes, I do like the movie. I really love sharp language. I like tight language.
Knife, point, stick,
I
spear.
like really good dialogue.
Oh, damn. So you didn't like my sharp language?
No, I liked your sharp language.
Oh, sweet. Thanks.
Also, the girlfriend, Erica Albright, was played by Rooney Mara.
Yes, Rooney Mara, sister of Kate Mara and daughter of the owners of the Steelers and the Giants, I want to say.
Yes.
So, really fighting against the odds to get into a feature film.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her.
Was Kate Mara the one that was in House of Cards? Yeah.
Didn't watch House of Cards, but I know that Kate Mara was in The Martian and Fantastic.
I think she was in House of Cards. I think that's where I remember her from. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I really like Aaron Sorkin's like dialogue and everything else. It's like, yeah, an Aaron Sorkin dialogue film about like any like kind of meh topic would probably at least get a watch out of me.
Mm.
For those that don't know, Aaron Sorkin wrote A Few Good Men. He wrote The American President. He wrote Charlie Wilson's War. He wrote The Social Network. He co-wrote Moneyball. He also wrote for The West Wing. He wrote Sports Night. And I think after West Wing, the show that came out was Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. And then also The Newsroom, which was popular. So all of those.
Don't forget West Wing.
I said West Wing.
I know.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, there you go. So there's just a couple of really good ones. I think he is credited not as a writer in F1, but I think he worked on it. But yeah. So there's it's good. Like I like what I've seen most of these films. The Trial of the Chicago 7 was one. I think that one gets downplayed a lot because it came out in 2020. So rip bozo, but
sorry, I'm just still thinking about the fact that Aaron Sorkin consulted or something for F1, and now I'm like, man, I wish that he had written the whole movie because I would love to watch the new movie Cars, but they talk with Aaron Sorkin drama or Aaron Sorkin dialogue.
Did you see F1?
No, I did not. That's the one Best Picture nominee from last year that I have not yet seen. Have you?
I didn't want to see it because I thought that it looked stupid. And
Okay.
then people were like, "Oh, hey, this is actually like a good movie." And I'm like, "It is?"
I hear that it rides on Top Gun Maverick's coattails a lot in terms of structure.
Okay. I never saw Maverick, so
Right. You've not seen the first one either, right?
I saw Top Gun, yeah.
You should check out Maverick then. It blows the first one out of the water.
Was it that guy's name Miles Teller? Is that his name?
Yeah, Miles Teller is in it. Glenn Powell is in it. Lewis Pullman is in it.
Okay.
Thomas
Val Kilmer's in it.
Thomas Cruise. I think he's in there.
Okay.
I think he's a new upcomer.
All right, I'll check it out. But yeah, how did you feel about The West Wing? Did you like it?
I've not watched The West Wing actually, but I
Sorry,
hear Aaron Sorkin worked on that, right?
Network.
Yeah,
speak today.
I agree with a lot of what you said. I remembered this movie when watching it as a teenager when it came out. Like your comment of mine that I brought up, like, man, it's so different watching this with a fully developed like frontal cortex or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I had remembered the movie being much grayer, much more ambiguous morally and righteously. And no, watching it now, it's like, no, like Mark Zuckerberg absolutely is the villain here. Like just such an insensitive individual who is attempting to set the world on fire actively and is rewarded for it, right? And not just it's not just this he's a one-man wrecking crew asshole building a website. Like there is so much on a personal level in terms of personal betrayal and friendships that I would never want to even be friends with this dude, let alone hold a conversation with Mark Zuckerberg in this film. He is vindictive, rude, just flat out mean at times, and very much in a way that, like you alluded to, like as a teenage dude, I was like, oh my God, he's so cool. The way he's so like laissez-faire about everything, you know?
Yeah.
So it was really interesting now having that perspective of seeing this and having a bit more media literacy and being like, oh no, he's just straight up evil. But like to that point, I was reading some stuff that Aaron Sorkin had said in the creation of this, and an exact quote from him is, I decided to dramatize the idea that there were 3 different versions of the story being told in the depositions. That's how I came up with the structure of the deposition room. And it sounds like, reading that quote and reading a few others, it does sound like at the time in the late 2000s when they were developing this, the goal was to have it be this tale that's a bit more ambiguous in the morality of all of these characters. But I don't know if it's just not to say that they missed the mark and the movie is less for that, because I don't think that the movie is worse by any measure because of that. But I can't tell if it's they missed the mark and it's a lot less ambiguous, or if it's because of everything that we've been informed on in the last 16 years and the way that's painted our understanding of how a lot of these things work. And also we have also alluded to, we have seen these types of like practically con men rise to the top in many different fields, including the government, that it casts a degree of cynicism over this whole thing in terms of the way these players are to be treated. So it's tough to say, but overall, yeah, this is clear as day. Like, he is not just in the wrong, but awful for it. It makes me kind of wonder, though, if that's something that, people more attuned to our sensibilities, we feel that way because of the way we feel about things in the world. Or if, like, say we showed this movie to a dude whose favorite films are Fight Club and The Dark Knight, and you know who I'm talking about, like the film bros who like, I love the Joker, man. Like, if we showed them this, if they'd be like, oh man, Jesse Eisenberg's Mark Zuckerberg, that's who I want to be. He just kicked ass. Like, there still be, I'm sure there are still be people out there who watch this and their takeaway is like, oh no, Zuck, that's our guy.
Yeah, no, 100%. I love Heath Ledger's The Joker, right? But there are people that talk about him not in the context of like a comic book character or like a literary creation, but as like a, man, wouldn't it be great if everybody was like the Joker? No, it wouldn't. It'd be terrible. You'd hate it. But they think that they'd like it. Everyone wants to be Tyler Durden, right? Everyone wants to be the guy in Fight Club.
Everyone wants to be the guy in American Psycho.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's a great idea to be Christian Bale in American Psycho, and it's not. There is something to this about like a hero's journey and how like the difference between like British literature and American literature is that British protagonists are great because they're born great, and American protagonists have greatness thrust upon them, right? It is the difference between like Harry Potter being born as the guy who's going to defeat Voldemort, right? And like someone like in an American story, it's just like, no, they become great on their own. And that plot device always resonates really well with American audiences. If Zuckerberg was just a guy like telling other people what to do, nobody fucking likes that guy. Like, even the film bros would be like, fuck that guy. But you see him coding. You see him doing the thing, right? He made this thing. They may not understand what coding is even, but they're like, oh, he was the guy with the laptop. He drew the Facebook. He made it up, right? Before this, it was an aberration. And then now because he exists and he worked on it, it exists now. Now this is the thing that everyone has in front of you, which I don't know how much of that is true, but they would have no sympathy and they'd have no interest in him if he was the Eduardo Saverin character. And I think that's part of it is like, because that guy, it's so easy to be like, fuck Eduardo. He was in New York and he was trying to sell ads, and that's not how you build this thing. And he's just the guy with the money. He just sits back and plays with the money. It's like, nah, dude, that's way harder. That's way worse.
And it's one of those, like, to that point, it's like, oh, we don't see him. That means he's not working.
Yes. We don't see him.
See the work.
They never show you him hitting the streets.
Mm.
They're just like, where's Eduardo? He's not here, huh? Where's Eduardo? Where is he? He's not here. He must not be working, huh? He needs to be here. What does being here mean? Being here means you jump off a fucking building? You zip line into the pool? Like, what does being here do for you?
Here,
you
how
filming
about this?
Jackass on your flip camera?
I feel like we're starting to get pretty deep into some plot points. CJ, would you like to recap the movie for us?
I will recap the movie for us.
Awesome.
I thought we were having a good conversation.
Yeah, we were.
I think... you're producing me. It's okay.
We were, and then I stopped having fun. So now I want to move on to the next topic.
I stopped having fun. Okay, so the players in this movie are the big players. Jesse Eisenberg plays Mark Zuckerberg, the creator, the founder that everyone knows for Facebook. Eduardo Saverin is played by Andrew Garfield, a.k.a. Spider-Man, and other stuff. Sean Parker, the creator of Napster and also a founder, a investor in Facebook at some point, is played by Justin Timberlake. Remember when we thought Justin Timberlake was going to be a great actor? Yeah.
No.
Armie Hammer plays Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss.
Your favorite actor.
Yeah, he's not my favorite actor.
Right. Oh, right. You just like his real life decisions.
There is a guy named Josh Pence who was the actual Tyler Winklevoss. But then they decided they were just going to have Armie Hammer be both guys. So he is literally just the body of Tyler Winklevoss. And that's basically his career.
Really?
He was in The Dark Knight Rises. He played the young Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
He was in Gangster Squad. Do you remember Gangster Squad?
Oh, geez. I remember the name. Was
Josh
that the
Brolin,
one?
Ryan Gosling, Nick Nolte.
Yes.
Emma
I never
Stone.
saw it, but
Yeah.
I
Pretty
remember
good.
that. Okay.
Listen, that movie is not good outside of the make some fucking popcorn. It's kind of fun. And then he was Bo Callahan in Draft Day.
Wait, is that the guy who is he the guy who
That no one went
didn't
to his
read the
birthday party?
dollar? Yeah,
Yes.
he faked about the dollar bill or whatever at the end.
Yes, he did.
At the end of the book.
And then he was in La La Land.
Hmm.
He plays Josh. I don't remember.
Oh, Josh, the classic La La
the
Lander.
classic Land character. Yeah. So
I
poor
love
Josh.
Josh.
Yeah. Now he hasn't done anything since 2016. He's retired.
Or is he a TV guy now?
Oh, maybe.
He's got a face that looks like a TV guy.
Rashida Jones is in this movie. Brenda Song is in this movie. They're both in bit parts. Brenda Song plays Eduardo Saverin's girlfriend. Rashida Jones plays a lawyer that has a there's a couple scenes actually with Jesse Eisenberg. So, and then there's a couple other people. Rooney Mara plays Erica Albright. So the framing for this movie is 2 depositions. Okay. There's one deposition going on where the Winklevi twins are deposing Jesse Eisenberg. And there's another one going on where Andrew Garfield and his lawyer are doing a deposition with Jesse Eisenberg. So basically he's in the middle of 2 lawsuits. One against Eduardo Saverin and one against the Winklevoss twins. They use that frame story to tell the story of the Facebook through their testimonies. So it starts, and Mark Zuckerberg is a sophomore at Harvard, and he's out to dinner with his girlfriend at the time, Erica Albright. And he's a jerk to her, and he's like, you don't have to study because you go to BU, and he's correcting her, and he's having multiple conversations at once. And he tries to apologize, but she's not interested. And she leaves him by saying, Mark, you're going to grow up thinking, you're going to get older, and I have no doubt you're going to be successful. You are going to go through life thinking that people don't like you because you're a nerd. And I want you to know that that is not true. You're going to go through life and people won't like you because you're an asshole. Which is, I think, a really great line, by the way. And something that I think more than a few people could actually learn from. So
it very much functions as like a tone setter for a lot of the film.
Yes. So he goes home to his dorm. The whole like intro credit scene is him walking back to his dorm. Really gets like, you really get a good sense of the atmosphere and like the tone with the music from Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor. And he opens up his live journal blog, and he starts blogging about Erica Albright, starting with Erica Albright's a bitch. You think that's because her family changed their name from Albrecht? And then he goes on to make a website called Face Smash by using the Facebooks for Harvard. So Harvard's dorms all had Facebooks, which are literally, the term now means the Facebook, the website. Facebook before this was literally like, oh, here are pictures of all of the people in your dorm. That's what those sites were for. It would not be uncommon if you worked at a really big company, you might get a printout of everybody's headshots. That would be another example of a Facebook, right? That's not like totally unheard of. It's not something that people do now because people just have staff pages and whatever else. And so before Facebook meant the website, the Harvard Facebooks had photos of all of the students in the dorms. So he downloaded all the female students. He's blogging. He's drunk. And he uses the Harvard website, and they crash the thing. They crash the network, and they take the site offline, and he's going to get in trouble. While this is going on, he is also becoming it's very clear he's obsessed with finals clubs. Or final clubs. Sorry, not finals clubs. A final club is literally the final club that you're in when you're in Harvard. And they have like a separate building off site, and I don't know what is so exclusive about them, but they literally at one point get a busload of women and take them to a party held at this building where the women all get naked for these like guys that go to Harvard. Right? So it's all about like exclusivity and whatever, and he's really obsessed with getting into a final club, and he knows all of the details. He knows about the Porcellian, he knows about the Phoenix, and so it's very juxtaposed. Like what he's doing is, he's in his room making a website which demeans women. It goes viral on the campus while there's a big party going on where he wishes he was. Right? They have a separate hearing where he basically gets academic probation, and that's basically the slap on the wrist. And he's like not very conciliatory. Like he kind of apologizes, but then he's like, I think I deserve recognition for pointing out problems with your network. And he's actually way more of a dick than what I just said when he says it. So Face Mash's popularity is so popular that it's in the Harvard newspaper, which is called The Crimson. And he gets the attention of the Winklevoss twins, and they have a friend named Divya Narendra. And basically the three of them want to go into business together with Mark Zuckerberg. They have a website called Harvard Connection that they want to work on. And it's exclusive to Harvard students, basically focused on dating. And he's like, well, why wouldn't you just use any insert platform here? And he's like, well, the reason we're not going to do that is because it's going to be exclusive. You have to have a harvard.edu email address, which is the most exclusive email address in the world. Mm-hmm. So he's like, cool, I'll start working on it. They take him to the Porcellian bike room, which he is so excited to be in there, but he's also insulted that he's not allowed to go past the bike room. Like, he thought being with them would give him more social clout than it did. He thought, oh, I know you guys are going to get me into the Porcellian. And they're like, no, we're just going to give you a sandwich, and you're going to make our website for us. So then, right after, he goes to his friend Eduardo Saverin with an idea for a website called The Facebook, which is the social networking site basically in its earliest phase. That would be exclusive to Harvard students, but also Princeton and a couple others. And I think Eduardo at one point's like, hey, we have to go to Berkeley or something, like some college in California. And we had to go out west too. It's time. So he basically makes a website. Eduardo gives him $1,000 to make it. And it becomes popular. And as it goes on over time, he's also leading on the Winklevoss twins and Divya Narendra. And they're getting pissed off because he's ignoring them. Basically, he did take their idea. He stole their idea unambiguously. He did not have the idea for the Facebook.
Just about to add unambiguously. It is so clear cut.
Yeah, like, oh, you gave me an idea. Cool, I'm going to make that idea under the guise I'm going to make that idea for you. He, like, intentionally stalled the development of Harvard Connection, and they are like, one of them is like, we are gentlemen of Harvard, and they're like, that's fucking stupid. Armie Hammer says to Armie Hammer, I don't want to get the law involved. I want to call the Sopranos. I'm 6'3" and 220 pounds, and there's two of me. I want to go Tony Soprano on his ass with a baseball bat, right? And honestly, he might have been a better person for it. But then they're like, hey, we're going to go to the president of the college. And the president of the college is like, you got your daddy to get you this meeting. I'm a very important man. I have no reason, like, I don't see this as a college issue. Go fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, this is $1 million idea. And they're like, aren't you getting ahead of yourself?
Yeah, he's pretty much like, this conduct exists for the students and their behavior in relation to the university. This sounds like it's a problem between you and him, and the university isn't involved at all.
Yeah. And by the way, Larry Summers went on to be the 71st Secretary of the Treasury. And he also served on the National Economic Council for the U.S. So this isn't like some random jerk-off.
No, this guy don't know shit.
Yeah, he served under Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. Like, he's like, okay, well, you guys are kind of whatever. So run along. The other thing is that Mark Zuckerberg is jealous of them because they row crew, and that's something that came up when they got their very messy breakup. Fast forward. So Jesse Eisenberg, his 2 roommates, and Eduardo Saverin are working on the Facebook. And there's 2 young women who basically are very interested in them. They're like groupies, kind of. She tells them to Facebook me, which they get very excited about. They have sex in a public bathroom in neighboring stalls. And then he sees across the room his ex-girlfriend, who basically tells him to fuck off. And he is like, well, look at this cool thing that I made. Like, I want to tell you about it. And she's like, I don't care. I'm with my friends. I don't want to be rude. Go away. Like, we're not anything to each other. And then she's like, good job on your video game, which I'm sure, then he leaves and he gets all pissy again. They go out. It was Stanford was the name of the college. So then they go out to start making some meetings, and they meet Napster co-founder Sean Parker, who is basically like the ghost of Christmas Future for Mark Zuckerberg. And at some point, it's very much like, oh, I could become this guy. No, you can't. You can't become this guy. This guy has more charisma in his little finger than Mark Zuckerberg has in his whole body. So Saverin... Eduardo gets like, Jesus Christ, I don't want anything to do with this guy. He's no good.
Yeah.
There's reports of drugs. He's paranoid. He thinks that people are out to get him. And so Saverin gives Mark Zuckerberg $18,000. Zuckerberg's like, cool, we're going to Palo Alto. We got to be out in LA. That's where everything's happening. Saverin goes to New York and tries to like work on a business development strategy. That doesn't work. Sean Parker basically starts sleeping with the woman across the street explicitly to get into Mark Zuckerberg's house.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he gets there, the house is a mess. They're fucking doing gravity bongs. And Sean Parker's there, and he's like, why are you here? Jesse Eisenberg didn't go pick up Spider-Man from the airport. Whatever. So it cuts back to the Winklevoss twins, who lose a very big crew race, right? Those races are not usually that close. They were very close. They find out while they're in Europe, basically, because it was a British, it was like Oxford versus Harvard. And they discover that it is actually expanded to Europe, and Facebook is now in Oxford, Cambridge, and the London School of Economics. And then they decide they're going to sue for intellectual property theft, which is something that the one Winklevi was not interested in. Eduardo can't get Mark to understand him or listen to him. So he's like, fine, I'm going to freeze the account. He freezes the account the same day that Peter Thiel gives them $500,000 and puts them up in an office in San Francisco. Mark Zuckerberg calls. He's fucking irate. He's like, listen, you jeopardized the whole company. The whole thing is that it's cool and that Facebook never goes down, and now Facebook's going to be down, and yada, yada, yada. They're going to have a millionth user party, and they get Eduardo out there to sign some paperwork. And his new thing that he signed, he later finds out, allowed the company to create new shares, to allow for new investors, which creates a situation where his shares of Facebook are diluted from 34% of the company to 0.03% of the company without diluting the ownership percentage of anybody else. So basically, they intentionally fucked him. They intentionally took his 34%, and while he kept the same amount of shares that he had, they increased the amount of shares that were available for sale, and that created the additional 33% ownership.
Mhm.
The way that this might, and I'm going out of my way to explain this, the way this might work is like, so say Dustin Moskovitz owns 5%, right? If the company expands and they want to create more shares, for him to have still 5%, they would give him the now requisite number of shares, right? So not only would they increase, to keep his percentage, they would have to increase the number of shares that he has. That's not what they did with Savrin. They kept him at the same number of shares. They added more shares of the company, which meant that he had 0.03% of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Then Sean Parker is all like, he's like, sorry, my fuck you, flops. He gets kicked out. He's like, I'm not coming back for 34%. I'm coming back from everything, you asshole. And they leave. He leaves, not before making Sean Parker look like a bitch. It later is found out that Sean Parker is caught at a party with drugs with interns, implied that they may be underage.
Yeah.
There's like a whole scene where they're like, how old are you? Don't lie to us.
Yeah,
and then
they're all
cuts.
under 21.
Yeah. And then it goes back to the deposition where Rashida Jones has been there to babysit him the whole time, basically. And he basically is so out of touch, he doesn't understand that he has to settle both of these. She's like, I'm a second-year lawyer here, and I can convince a jury in 10 minutes that you're guilty. So he has to settle out of court. And she's like, oh, and you're also going to have to pay extra so that they sign non-disclosure agreements.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a speeding ticket, she calls it. It's a speed bump.
Yeah.
And his overall callous attitude in general is going to make him unsympathetic to a jury. Ultimately, it ends. He sends a friend request to Erica Albright and keeps refreshing the page to see if she accepts it. And then it reveals that both cases were settled out of court. It says that he has become the world's youngest billionaire, and Facebook is worth $25 billion today. That was in 2010. Facebook is now valued at $1.5 trillion. That
Ridiculous.
is a million, right?
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's 1,000 billion, and a billion is 1,000 million. So it's $1 million is how much that is worth. $1 million and a half, for good measure. 1.5 trillion. The U.S. economy, that's how big it is. United States economy in dollars.
It's just frustrating.
31.8 trillion.
Oh man. And hey, a website is worth a 30th of that.
That is insane.
Ridiculous.
All right, did I miss anything on the plot?
No, I don't think so. I think that's all of the big things. I think the things that on a rewatch now as an adult that stuck out to me was just how important those social clubs at Harvard were. The Phoenix and the ones that the Winklevosses were part of.
Porcellian?
Yeah, that one. Like, it really feels like, no, he, like you kind of alluded to, he stole the idea for Facebook from the Winklevosses because they were not his entryway into the Porcellian. He was mad at Eduardo and held this grudge because Eduardo got into the Phoenix and Eisenberg didn't. And Andrew Garfield even brings that up near the end. He's like, tell me this isn't because I got into the Phoenix. Kind of comes, full circle there. But Yeah, he's just such a petty motherfucker, dude.
Oh yeah, like, you know, today is Trans Day of Visibility, the day we're recording this. It's March 31st. And I was writing today a message about that to one of the Discords that I manage. And my closing thought was, and I deleted this, but my closing point was, being nice doesn't cost you anything. Like, somebody having something nice doesn't hurt you in any way. And being nice doesn't cost you anything. The idea that his friend getting into a final club, the Winklevi basically treating him as a second-class citizen, you know, like, because they wouldn't punch him into the porcelain. If he had done that, he would have made them Harvard Connect.
In a heartbeat.
At least this character of Mark Zuckerberg would have.
Yeah.
Right? The one depicted
100%.
in the movie.
Yeah.
1,000%.
We even, to that point, there was one moment in the movie when Andrew Garfield breaks the news that he made it to like the second round of the Phoenix or whatever. I remember us, like, he says the news to Jesse Eisenberg, and Jesse Eisenberg responds with something more or less to the effect of, well, we gotta work. And in the moment, we were like, bro, go hug your guy. He got this big news.
You should be really proud of that, even if you don't get any further.
Yes.
The first time that Andrew Garfield told him, he says, it probably is a diversity thing. Because they're portraying both two Jewish men. It's like, it probably is a diversity thing. And he's like Brazilian Jewish.
Yes. Which it's just like, like you said, it costs you nothing. And I love that phrase. I use that phrase a lot myself, especially when I'm streaming and someone will come into chat and, just be mean, or like in YouTube comments, if someone talks about like the parts of my video where I talk about mental health, it's like, it costs you nothing to sit here and listen to this. And this is making a difference for other people. Like, too many people get just way too upset at being inconvenienced in a way that isn't actually an inconvenience. What, you have to sit there for 30 seconds and listen to something? That's not an inconvenience to you. Being holding a door open for someone who's right behind you? That's not an inconvenience. Just be nice. It costs you nothing. Give someone a compliment. Did that set you back in the grand scheme of things? No, that didn't do anything. And
somebody else having something nice doesn't mean that you have to do everything you can to shit on it.
Exactly.
Like, oh, well, this isn't because they're doing something nice. They're doing this for other reasons. Okay.
They're still doing it, though.
They're still doing it. It's more than what you're doing. What you're doing is shitting on it. Yeah, no, for sure. I've said this to many people lately, especially professional contexts. People will describe someone to me as a friend, and then I'll meet them and I'll say, if that's your friend, I don't want to meet your enemies. Like, that guy treats you like an asshole. Someone needed to tell Eduardo that your baby's ugly. You need to pull the money.
Yeah.
The idea that in 2003 they could rent a house in Silicon Valley or San Francisco for an account that had 18 grand in it. I guess it's one bitchin' summer, but like the rent alone now would cost that much.
Oh my God, right? It'd be horrible.
Yeah. I want to really talk about the music.
Okay.
Man, one thing that always stands out to me is how audibly distinct this movie is. I feel like when I think of that, the low hums and everything, it feels so Nine Inch Nails, but like not. It feels very unique to this movie. I feel like this movie has a unique like sound font to it, which always makes it feel more memorable to me.
Yeah, it goes well with the subject matter being the creation of a cornerstone website in our modern society. This, with it being the two dudes of Nine Inch Nails, you get that And like, this isn't to downplay their musical artistry, because the two of them have done so much in terms of genre crossing, but Nine Inch Nails itself as an act is very rooted in like the industrial sound and scene, right?
Yes.
Like I think, I'm sure there are many ways you could classify them, but that's kind of where my mind first goes to, is like the industrial genre. And that, while it doesn't come across as in like strictly industrial, it certainly has those like things that are indicative of that play really well with the story for all of these reasons we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, when I think about the music in this, while we were watching, I was like, of course, paying attention to the music, and it's good. It really complements a lot of the scenes. Personally, though, there's only one song in here that like really sticks out to me, and it's that one that really kicks in early on, and it comes back a couple times. The do do do,
Yeah.
That's the one that to me is like, oh no, that's the Social Network song.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, I think even when I was doing my shtick before, that's the song I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it's like very pleasant. It doesn't take away from anything. Yeah, I don't know. It really resonates with me. It feels very appropriate. I feel like I feel like if you had went like with like a jukebox soundtrack, it would have been awful. And there's a couple songs in there, but you know what I mean?
What? Are you telling me that Eduardo Saverin walking in to the Palo Alto office to "The boys are back in town, the boys are back in town"? Are you telling me that wouldn't just
working overtime?
Uh-huh.
Taking care of business.
Mm-hmm. When they're making Face Smash, taking care of business.
Yeah. I think
when he and Sean Park, when he shows up to the meeting and he's dressed in like the robe and he's gonna talk about how, I overslept.
I can't stand it. I know you're playing.
Oh, see, I was thinking, bum, 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 bum.
Man to the bone. You and I are making two very different movies.
I'm making Megamind 2.
I'm making a Joss Whedon Star Trek movie. Oh no, what am I thinking? J.J. Abrams, right?
Oh yeah, he did do the Star Trek.
Yeah. Not enough lens flare, JJ. Not enough lens flare. This movie could have done with some lens flare.
You think?
No.
I feel like lens flare would be, unless it's in a moment of certain gravity, like I feel like lens flare wouldn't fit this, because yeah, it's a very grounded, realistic film, but it has the visual tone of a cloudy, overcast day. And unless it's like this moment, like Eduardo Saverin like signs his NDA and settles, and we see him walk outside and it's a sunny day and there's a lens flare and it symbolizes something. That's like, I feel like you would need the lens flare to symbolize something like a departure, because otherwise J.J. Abrams, you would not fit in this film at all.
No. Man, lens flare just gives me a migraine now. Like, I really like those JJ Star Trek films, but they're hard to go back and watch.
We got to get you special glasses, the lens flare deleters.
One thing that really sold me on the TV that I bought for my living room is that it has a blue light filter.
So what, when you watch like Blue Man Group clips, are they all like orange?
My eyes adjust, and they're not orange.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about some of the performances.
Okay.
And please, if you have something else that you'd like to talk about, let me know. But...
No, I'm sitting on my life raft, just going where the river takes me.
Can I put you on hold 1 second?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Suddenly, the flow has suddenly stopped, and I am sitting here, adrift in my inner tube on this stagnant, lazy river, looking around, looking where the breeze went. Where's my tour guide and CJ? How else am I to navigate the social network? Oh well, I'll just play in the water, I guess. Look around for some tadpoles. I'm not seeing any tadpoles. I need to reach my destination. I need CJ back.
I'm back.
Oh, look, the river's flowing again. All right, please continue.
I don't know what happened. What I was going to say was some of the performances that really stand out to me. Jesse Eisenberg is impressively similar to, I think, a caricature of Mark Zuckerberg out of the box. I feel like Jesse Eisenberg has two modes, which is awkward, nervous, anti-socialite, and I get high in my free time. And like, I did not like his portrayal of Lex Luthor. You're more of the Superman person than I am. How did you like him as Lex Luthor?
It's hardly Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I'm like Lex Luthor. To me, the best like depiction of him is the one in like the Justice League cartoon. Outside of the comics, I mean, maybe Gene Hackman. We've talked about Gene Hackman's. I don't know.
Gene Hack. This won't turn into Superman hour, but as a Superman fan, Gene Hackman in those, he's good. He's good. It feels a lot more like just Gene Hackman playing a dude though, where Nicholas Hoult, I feel, embodies the hater energy of Lex Luthor perfectly.
Okay, yeah, I like Nicholas Hoult. I feel like from everything I know about Mark Zuckerberg now, it feels like you can't have anybody else play Jesse. You can't have anybody else play Mark Zuckerberg. Like, it has to be Jesse Eisenberg. Like, he's that depiction of that character. Especially like in the 16 succeeding years, what we've learned. But I will say that Spider-Man did really well. I really liked his sort of like, he felt like a grounding force.
Sorry. I didn't realize you were pivoting to talking about Andrew Garfield for a second. I'm like,
I said Spider-Man.
What? Yeah, I thought you were talking about like, okay, the Spider-Man movie did well. How does that have to do with the social network? Real
Andrew
quick, before you talk about him, I just wanted to say with Jesse Eisenberg. He's, to bolster your point, like very much a different role for Jesse Eisenberg that he does a really good job in filling. I read a quote from him somewhere. I'm having a hard time finding it in this moment, but he talked about at some point how playing Mark Zuckerberg was very different because it was, here I found the quote. Even though I've gotten to be in some wonderful movies, this character seems so much more overtly insensitive in so many ways that seem more real to me in the best way. I don't often get cast as insensitive people, so it feels very comfortable, fresh, and exciting, as if you never have to worry about the audience. Not that I worry about the audience anyway. It should be the first thing from your mind. The Social Network is the biggest relief I've ever had in a movie. So pretty interesting hearing that, perspective on it, in how it very much sounds like and feels like in the film that he embodies that, what was the word? The lack of care, the insensitivity. He embodies that so well, not just kind of like almost like throwing it away, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, and I'm sure that he put a lot of preparation into this role, but with that quote, to me, it sounds a lot more like, no, it's you're playing a pompous asshole who's maybe a little airheaded. And he was able to just kind of treat the material in that way, and it just leaps off the screen. So just wanted to pull that quote to kind of hammer home some of the things you were saying. But yeah, Spider-Man, that movie what did it make at the box office?
Let's talk about the movie. Andrew Garfield did really well. I felt like he was a really big grounding force.
Yes, definitely carries a lot of the emotion with him.
Being the friend of the guy that nobody else is friends with. Like, I feel like that's the role that you have to play. Because the whole time you're like, why are you friends with this guy? What do you get out of this?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, why are you possibly friends with this person? He is not someone that I would expect anyone would want as a friend.
Yeah.
Like, the people that live with him, I guess, are friends with him because they live with him.
Yeah. And even from the beginning, like a lot of these things we've talked about happening, it happens before they have a modicum of success. Well, I guess they have a modicum of success pretty quick with the face smash, but like Jesse Eisen, Mark Zuckerberg, he's being a dick the entire runtime of this. It's not like, oh, now that I'm getting a little big for my britches, it's time to disregard Eduardo. He's a dick from the outset. He's so mean to his friend.
Yeah, exactly. There's no part of him that is like actually interested in having friends.
Yeah.
Right.
And
he has followers, not friends.
Oh, it's kind of like the tagline.
Yeah.
So in like to your point, kind of talking about how he something that I mentioned earlier, like this is a story not just about like these big plays around the development of this site. It's a very personal story too. It's about friendship, betrayal, all of these things. And betrayal, for a betrayal to feel like a punch to the gut or really have any type of landing at all, you need to care for at least one side of it. And Andrew Garfield does really well with carrying the kind of carrying the audience with them. He feels like a rather sensible dude most of the time. I'm not going to say all the time, but he definitely feels a bit more like someone the audience can relate to at times. Or like you said, he is the guy who's friends with the dude nobody is friends with. And to me, someone going out of their way to try and make a friendship with someone and even succeeding at making a friendship with someone who might be a bit more abrasive or an outsider, like that to me can be a very admirable quality in a person. It demonstrates patience, it demonstrates empathy, and you really need that in order for Mark Zuckerberg screwing him out of all of his shares to be anything more than, well, why do I care about this? Like, these dudes are all rich. Why do I, like, at the end of the day, Eduardo's still making millions. Why should I feel like this was a rough thing for him? It's because he actually cared about the friendship and all of these things. So really comes through thanks to Spider-Man. And it's and it's $758.7 million at the box office.
Yeah, no, I agree. Armie Hammer's a piece of shit. And I love how the only thing I like about his performance is that he's so much bigger than Jesse Eisenberg that the one scene that they're in the same room together, not sitting down, feels amazing.
The line that always stuck with me was the one you had referenced earlier. That's like, I'm 6'5", 230, and there's two of me, Yeah. Great line.
Yeah, great line.
And yeah, I, of course, not a fan of Armie Hammer, the dude, but he fills the role well in being these physically imposing dudes. I'm not quite sure I really connect with the Winklevosses much beyond that. They also feel very much like entitled dicks throughout most of this. But hey, Armie Hammer did what was called for from him.
Yeah, there you go. He rose to the role.
What did you think about Justin Timberlake in this role?
Oh, hated him. I'm like, every time he's on screen, I hate him. I want you to fail. I want you to go away. I find you annoying. I find you cringe.
Do you hate the character Sean Parker, or is it something about Justin Timberlake's portrayal?
I hate the character. I think he does a really good job of making you be like, this guy deserves a punch in the face.
Especially when he flinches near the end. It's like, oh,
that was good.
Yeah, what is Spider-Man say? I like standing next to you. It makes me look so tough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that the security is just standing there like, all right, pick it up.
Well, they probably want to see Sean Parker get punched too.
Well, that's what we all wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you. He definitely does a good job in the role in feeling like this. He's a snake, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the best words for it. He is a snake who only encourages snake-like behavior from Jesse Eisenberg throughout this. I feel like he might be a little, like Justin Timberlake's performance might be a little one note, though maybe it just might be a one note role. Because what does Sean Parker really have to do other than mentor Mark Zuckerberg in being a shitheel and being and trying to just pull him away from his friendship with Andrew Garfield?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a manipulator. I feel like we don't really see much humanity from him. It's hard to empathize with him in any sort of way. But he's entertaining. He's fun to watch on screen, I guess.
Yeah.
Are there any other performances you really wanted to call out in this?
No, Brenda Song plays crazy awesome. That was cool.
Oh, she does. I think, what is it, the last scene with her when she like lights a fire?
Yeah, she lights a fire and then comes back to the door and the camera's on her face. And it's like, are you leaving already? Have you lit his fucking bed on fire?
Yeah. It's like, wait, we're breaking up or something like that. You're breaking up with me?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about for the movie?
I guess one thing that you had said earlier, and I know that we already talked about the impending sequel a bit in the pre-show, but something you had said, kind of ruminating on Jesse Eisenberg's performance as Zuckerberg, is that you can't really have anyone else play Zuckerberg, right? But we do have someone else playing him coming up in the impending sequel with Jeremy Strong. So I know that you have a little bit of experience with Jeremy Strong through Succession. You didn't fully go through it. But how do you feel about the prospect of Jeremy Strong playing Zuckerberg?
Yeah, that's something. I feel like he plays a completely different kind of asshole.
Yeah, I feel like he typically will play much more New York asshole.
Yes. He feels like C-suite asshole. Maybe that's what we need now. Maybe because he needs we need like C-suite Zuck versus like raw Zuck. But yeah, I mean,
CJ, I gotta stop.
See it.
You can't keep bringing up raw Zuck everywhere we go.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, I'm with you. I feel like I'm not sure it's of course, this is all up for deliberation until once we actually see the movie, see what the decisions that Jeremy Strong and co make. It does, but as of right now, it doesn't feel like the necessarily most inspired piece of casting. Because it's like, okay, who are we going to pick to play our evil tech bro CEO? Oh, let's get the guy from the show about evil billionaires. And let's get the star from that. Okay, great. It just kind of feels a bit like low-hanging fruit in casting him. Not to say that I'm not convinced he's going to do a great job, because I love Jeremy Strong. I think he's incredibly talented, and I'm sure he's going to be compelling in one way or another on screen. Though, yeah, I feel like they've got to make some bold choices in how he's represented, just to differentiate him from this portrayal. It's gotta feel asshole, but it's also a Zuckerberg at a very different point in his life. He's 15 years older, and we're having a much more mature actor portray him. So I'm curious. I'm curious, optimistic, though maybe a little questioning.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll have to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
No, but
how about, do you have any favorite individual scenes from this movie?
When he's being deposed and talking about the chicken.
Oh my God.
like the only silly part in the movie, which I think comes at a good time. It's like a reset. And I do love the opening scene when they're in the restaurant. She breaks up with him.
Yeah. I'm with you on both of those counts. I think that the chicken scene, it's really good for just both giving us a moment while it does come back in terms of plot details as well. Like it's not just this little detour for ha-ha's sake. The opening scene is incredible. It's one of the stronger opening scenes to a movie, just period, I think. Especially ones that are largely based around just a conversation. It's a 5-minute scene that apparently the script was 8 pages long, and typically in screenwriting, the rule of thumb is about 1 page per minute. So, like we talked about, I'm pretty sure in the pre-show and also during the commentary, and as many people have said, when they sit down to talk or sit down to film this, they're like, all right, how are we going to get through all of this? Talk fast.
Yes.
That's how this isn't going to be this is going to be a 2-hour movie because everyone's going to talk fast the whole time. And just feels it's a very calculated scene from a writing perspective. To me, the trademark of Aaron Sorkin dialogue, and I think that, is he the only person that does this? No, this is a tried and true storytelling method of having 2 characters in conversation, but they are having different conversations with each other. And one is saying one thing entirely, then they're just not hearing each other. To me, that is like the epitome of Aaron Sorkin dialogue. And if you're like watching it on like 1.5 or 2x speed. So it's just a really solid encapsulation of everything that in my mind is Aaron Sorkin projects. The other scene that I really love is the one that I've mentioned, I think in the pre-show, as something that I've seen on YouTube a million times, of the big climax of Andrew Garfield storming the offices and like throwing the laptop and sorry, I forgot my fuck you flip-flops. And the whole scene where he like fake punches Sean Parker and he flinches, all of that, just great coming to a head of all of this. And we get to see the actual moment that, the relationship was broken by this point, but this is when it's all come into sight, all come into view. Everyone really sees the true intents of everyone. It's just a great climax. It's cathartic despite being frustrating on an emotional level. And it's great the way that it then bounces back and forth with the depositions and everything. Good ending.
Well, Tommy, do you have anything else? Because I've said all I'm gonna say.
Oh, geez, I'm not too sure I have much else to bring up myself. I think just some general closing thoughts. Good movie. It feels very surgical. And I feel like some movies or shows that are things that are written with this level of precision, I feel like you can really get lost in the weeds, and it just kind of becomes like a circle jerk of like, look how complicated and how much it all adds up. But you still maintain and retain a lot of the emotion, and it's like the humor is in there, and just a really well balanced script despite being so hyper focused on certain aspects. But I think that's the last of my general thoughts.
All right. Well, did you know this was part 2 in our duology on, I forget what it is. Hopefully
being awkward past the stage of being awkward with Superbad?
Yeah. What movie do you think did it better?
Oh, geez. I feel like being awkward is more central to the story and characters of Superbad, because while Mark Zuckerberg in this is awkward, he's just more of an asshole than
I agree.
awkward. And not to say that Jonah Hill isn't just an asshole in Superbad, but teenage awkward years play a lot more into that story as a whole.
Mm-hmm. I can agree.
Sweet.
All right. If you have any insight on why it's called The Social Network?
Oh, I do. Okay, so when Mark Zuckerberg was 6, he loved to talk to other kids. In fact, everyone said he's quite the little social butterfly. And what do butterflies do, CJ?
They network.
Close. They spin webs. And Mark Zuckerberg spun such a big web as this social butterfly, he connected everyone around him. And they were like, whoa, if only we had a word for that. And then, you know what they did after that?
What?
I'm pretty sure they went on a class field trip to the local pond to go fishing. And Mark Zuckerberg, the little social butterfly, scooped up a bunch of fish with one fishing net. And he said, wow, this net really works. And they're like, man, that's the social network right there.
I think you may be onto something.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. It might be because he created the first social network, Facebook. But I like your idea more.
Oh. I think mine makes a little more sense. CJ, what genre is The Social Network?
Wow. What genre is it? It is biographical.
Yeah.
It's a drama.
Yeah, I would put drama at the top.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We can put drama first. Do we want to add biographical or?
I guess. I don't know. I'm personally leaning towards and okay with not having biographical on there, but I don't know. If you feel strongly about it, I'm okay with adding it on.
No, if you I'm good with it. If you're good with it, we can leave it off.
Okay.
We can just make it drama.
Yeah, let's just leave it at drama then. I don't believe biographical is one of the genres that we had included as a potential most featured.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Then.
All right. Just drama. I think that fits.
Drama. Da da da.
Okay, CJ. Most important question though.
Yeah.
Could you have done The Social Network?
Am I Zuck?
Yeah, of course.
I think I can do it.
You can?
Do I have to be able to code?
I think that's a bit important, yeah.
If I don't have to code, I can do it. But if I have to code, then no, I can't do it.
So I'll jot down yes if don't have to code.
There we go. Yeah.
Cool. Well, how about we then get to the titular question? CJ, is The Social Network okie dokie?
I think it is. I think the film is okie dokie.
Yeah, you know what? I think I agree. I think I would have to say this is pretty okie dokie.
This is one of the best films that came out in 2010, which is a good year.
I would say so. What was this up against? I mean, I'm pretty sure this was up for Best Picture. What was this up against, and what did it lose to?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. Okay. It lost Best Picture. It was nominated. So it was nominated against Winter's Bone, True Grit, Toy Story 3, 127 Hours, The Kids Are All Right, Inception, The Fighter, and Black Swan. And it lost to The King's Speech.
Wow. What a lineup for Best Picture noms.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Do you think, in hindsight, that The Social Network should have won, or would you have given it to something else?
No, The King's Speech is really good.
Okay.
Like, it's probably my pick for Best Picture of that list, and there aren't any bad films on that list. I don't think any of them are bad.
I thought you weren't. I thought you hated Toy Story 3. I thought you said that was the worst Pixar movie. It's objectively bad.
It is. All right. So if I remember, it's not your pick.
It is my pick. But before we can do that, we do have to go into an adjacent room real quick.
All right, let's go to the rec room.
Wow. CJ, more redecoration every week. This is incredible.
Yeah, my fish died.
Wait,
So
you had a fish in here?
Well, no, at my house.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he died today.
Oh, how long have you had him?
8 months.
Wow.
He was neon green. He's a neon tetra.
What was his name?
Green.
I like it.
Yeah, this is my nephew's fish. But he lives here, and so we unfortunately said goodbye to green fish, and so I painted the room green, neon green.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I get it now.
But it's
pour
also
one out
like
for
a
green
screen.
Oh, so you want me to film stuff in here?
Yeah, you can.
Sweet.
Wouldn't hurt you. All right. I'll go first. I am watching Invincible. That is the show that I'm currently watching.
That's all you say. I am watching Invincible. End of sentence.
I am watching Invincible. I like it. It's a good show. People are really shitting on it for animation quality. I don't care. I'm just good with it. So
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too.
Like, just take it. Take that we have something good. Don't bitch about that it's not Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, just move on with your life, right? Not everything is going to look like everything else. Enjoy something for what it is. Mic drop.
Bravo. Anything else to add on for Invincible or anything else to rec?
I really like the current season. I don't have anything else, unfortunately.
Okay.
They're at episode 4 right now.
Yes.
So,
we talked a little bit about it in the pre-show.
Yeah, we did. So, go check it out. That's all I have, unfortunately. I've been so busy, I haven't had time to do anything else.
Oh, that's okay. I'll pick up a little bit of the slack.
Okay.
I've got 4 things to recommend today.
Jesus. All right.
First up is a movie that I had never seen that Jade and I watched on a plane ride recently called Clueless. I had never seen it. All I knew about it was that Paul Rudd plays a stepbrother in it, and he is of romantic interest. And that's really all I knew. It's a really fun, campy film from the 90s that is just, it feels like an electric rod of clever writing and jokes. It's just absolute mouth to fire hose with just a bunch of like punchlines back to back or jokes that you know they go by so quick you miss them, you don't even catch them initially. And yeah, really fun film, funny, like I said, campy, and it as a child from the 90s, later half of the 90s, but with an older sibling, so I experienced a lot of 90s through her. Really feels like something that I am nostalgic for despite having never experienced it before. So, good experience watching that. The next thing I wanted to recommend is Project Hail Mary. Jade and I were lucky enough to go and catch this opening weekend in 70mm IMAX. Incredible watching it on a screen that big. I had no clue screens got that big. And it's a pretty good adaptation. It's, I'm a huge fan of the book. I've recommended the book multiple times on this show. It's not a perfect adaptation, but it's still a really, really engaging story. It nails all the big beats. The performances are good. There's one character in particular from the book who they adapted phenomenally to screen. If you're unfamiliar with the story, it's, in short, the sun is dying and they send a dude who in the movie is played by Ryan Gosling. They send him to a different star to figure out why that star is not dying, but ours is. So that's just the initial thrust of the plot, but there's much more to it. Good movie. Had a good time. Try and catch it in theaters if you can. The next thing I wanted to recommend was a comic I recently finished called Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. This is the comic that is serving as the basis for the upcoming Supergirl film, though based on everything I've seen and heard, seems like they're taking a lot of liberties with the adaptation, which is fine. You know, that's what you should do with comic books, try and fit it better to the visual medium, but really great revenge tale. It's a story told by a girl, or by a woman who was a girl who traveled with Supergirl for a time being, while this girl was seeking revenge for a dude who killed her dad. Yeah, it's a really well done revenge tale. If you like revenge tales, if you like comics and you haven't read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, go check it out. It just came out in 2021, so it's more modern, and the art in it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I should call out who actually wrote and drew it, illustrated. It was written by Tom King and illustrated by Bilquis Evely, I believe. But really good. Go check that out if you're into comics. Last thing, I wanted to recommend a movie called Rental Family. This is what Jade and I watched on the plane ride back from our trip when we watched Clueless on the plane ride there and Project Hail Mary on our trip. Rental Family, it's Brendan Fraser in Japan, and he is an actor and starts getting involved with rental family services, which are a real thing in Japan, and it's stuff like when you can hire someone to come to your funeral so it looks like you were more popular. Really great story. It just really touched me emotionally, and I loved everything about it. Really... just, I don't want to say wholesome, I don't want to say feel good, but just, really gets you feeling some good emotions. So, just to recap, I recommended Clueless, Project Hail Mary, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and Rental Family. CJ, you recommended
Invincible.
Nice. Well, CJ, are you ready to find out what we are watching next time on The Film is Okie Dokie?
Yes, I am.
Okay. CJ, I'm not sure if you knew this, but did you know that The Social Network was actually part 1 in a duology?
Get out of town.
Yeah, it was, in fact, part 1 in our duology on kids not going to class. Because next time on The Film is Okie Dokie, we are watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, okay. I've never seen it.
I knew that you had not. I actually jotted down that in our Jurassic Park episode, our second episode ever, at around the 33-minute mark, you bring up that you had never watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So
all right. Well, you did your homework.
Of course I did. I always do my homework.
Yes, you always do. You're very on top of it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think that's about all for this episode. CJ, could you do our typical sign-off?
All right. Listen, if you've enjoyed this episode of the podcast, remember to like us, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. If you only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe that you are a hater. Shout out to Bamani Jones at Wave Sports Entertainment for the quip. Remember to tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors' kids. You may have to download it for them. They have small fingers. They have a hard time working the buttons. In fact, just download the podcast directly to your friends' phones and cut out the middlemen. As always, I have been CJ.
I've been Tommy.
And Invincible.
Invincible's here?
Invincible? You can't keep getting away with it.
I was about to say we just need Aaron Paul yelling Invincible!
Invincible! All right, goodbye.
Bye.